You two are sure about this?
Pretty sure.
What if this other person is just another aspect of your own personality or mind?
That's not it, Allie. I remember her. I remember her being there under the hill that time. I've drawn her face for years, and all this time I thought she was just some weird imaginary friend or character I made up. But I had to be unconsciously remembering her or something. I bet that Spencer would remember too if we asked him.
Well, I can go track him down and rescue him from Corvin if you want.
I don't know. I don't know how he'll take it all. I mean, if all this started back then...
You're worried he'll think it's his fault?
I mean... yeah.
I'm not opposed to you talking to the murder, okay? I just worry. I mean, what if they ask for something you don't want to pay?
I'll pay it. I mean, what can they ask for that would be more problematic than fairy body snatchers?
You're thinking of payment in terms of physical objects. You're not thinking of things like memories, dreams. They ask for those sorts of things too.
Fairy body snatchers.
Okay, point taken. The situation is kind of dire.
Kind of dire? It's kind of dire when we run out of coffee in the middle of the week. This is full-on existential crisis level of bad. I had my body snatched by fairies. I mean, I kind of agreed to it, I guess. But I was like 7. Who makes that kind of heavy agreement with a 7-year-old?
Fairies, apparently.
Fairies suck. Look, you can go with me and make sure they don't take advantage, okay?
Yeah.
Sorry you're spending your free day here with us, and having to deal with all this.
No, it's fine. I mean, I meant to come to your house anyway. Since you're staying here for the time being, it's the same thing.
Yeah, but you were just going to teach me some defense magic or whatever.
Yeah. Back before I realized you were getting stalked by a freaking ancient. I don't even know how well my magic would stand up to something like that anyway. Even if it's just a drudge.
Hey, that's not my fault, I'll have you know.
I know.
I'd nearly forgotten about that whole drama under assault of all this fairy-related stuff. Ugh. Why was my life so stupid at the moment? Well, at least we're safe here. I just hope the agency gets things sorted because I don't think I can justify staying here past Tuesday. Even if this place is impervious to attack or whatever. What was that?
I don't know.
Well, that can't be good. The noise sounded again, and Allie and I both jumped to our feet. And then it was all over the place, like something slamming against the insides of the walls. What's going on? The bookcase shuddered violently as something slammed into the hallway door, rattling the glass. It looked weirdly dark out there, more so than usual. Allie put an arm in front of me and backed us toward the library door.
I think something is attacking the club room. The real club room.
Something? Something meaning the thing after William. The thing after me. Because of William. I thought you said this place is impervious to attack.
It's supposed to be.
That's why I told you not to say it like that.
You're the one who just said it.
I was repeating what you said. Just how safe are we in here?
The barrier is pretty strong, but we're up against an ancient here.
I thought it couldn't leave the mines. Just send those drudge things out.
The magic overflow is increasing by the minute. It's clearly getting stronger. And without the sentinels to keep things in check...
The door shuttered again, and Allie held a hand out toward it. She drew her hand in a straight line horizontally.
Barrier!
Is that going to hold it?
I don't know. Let's get to the library for now. That should help. A lot.
We quickly closed the distance between us and the library door. Allie rapped 3 times and yanked it open just as the hall door shuttered again. That's not the library.
The spell must be fritzing out due to the attack.
Well, that's really fantastic. We're trapped here?
Get in!
It's a storage closet.
It's not the club room, which is safer than the club room. Just get in!
What about you?
I'm going to stay.
I'm not leaving you.
Get in!
She planted a hand below my collarbone and shoved. I staggered back into the closet, smashing into a shelf at the far wall. How is this safer than the club room? There's no barriers on a random storage room. Allie, what's the plan? Allie, no! I launched myself at the door as she slammed it in my face. Desperately, I jiggled the handle, but it was locked from the outside. I pounded on it as hard as I could. Allie! Damn it! Everything was completely silent. Great. Thanks a lot, Allie. Allie. Was she okay? I looked around the dark room, just able to make out the shelves and cleaning supplies. Hopefully no Corvin makeout session in here today. I need a light. At least I had my phone with me. I could just use the light from that. The closet was pretty small, so when I got my light on, it lit up everything pretty well. Of course, somehow it was 10 times creepier in the bluish light than it was in the dark. I swept it around to get a look at the place. Not that I expected to find anything. Ah! There you are, hockey mask ghost. Holy jeez! I fumbled with my phone, nearly dropping it when I realized I wasn't alone. I backed to the other side of the closet, hand over my chest. Eyeing the familiar masked figure warily, I tried to will my heart to slow back down. That thing that attacked Shadow Guy? The, ghost killer? Hi there. Didn't realize this closet was occupied. I was just going to, leave? My back hit the door and, well, that was it for my escape. The ghost came right at me, and I didn't even have time to react. A deep, bone-piercing chill ran through me as it passed through me, and the door. Nice of you to use the door, even if I was standing in front of it. Okay, so it's non-corporeal if it passed through us, so maybe not a person dressed up as a ghost. Unless it has Danny Phantom powers. I sank to the floor, heart hammering against my ribs. What's that thing doing here? Surely it had cleaned the school out completely by now. Well, there is an ancient one and some drudges on the loose. A loud click sounded in my ears. Did it let me out? Was that the lock? Really? I quickly stood and twisted the handle. Sure enough, unlocked. Wait, was that thing trying to help me? What the actual heck is going on here? Ancients attacking the club, ghosts killing ghosts lurking in closets. Crap, not that knocking again. Suddenly, the entire closet shuddered violently. A loud knocking sounded from within the walls. Oh great, and now I wasn't in a place with a protective barrier. The closet shuddered again, sending a cascade of boxes and supplies off one of the shelves onto my head. I let out a scream and held my hands up, trying to fend them off. I definitely couldn't stay. I yanked the door open and bolted out of the closet, hoping the drudge thing was attacking from some kind of spooky metaphysical place and not just waiting for me to run out of the closet into its arms. I found myself in an empty classroom and everything was silent. Okay, that's good. It had taken a few minutes to find me before, so I should keep moving. Oh, good grief. This is so spooky now. When did this route get so spooky? Too spoopy-five me. A soft hiss behind me caused me to whirl around in a panic. It was the masked ghost again. Was it possible that thing was attacking the club and not the ancient? That made no sense, though. It had definitely helped me before. Or had it? I didn't even know anymore. Stay back! I backed away from it, feeling around on the top of the desk for something, anything, to use as a weapon. I snatched the book off and hurled it at the ghost. It went straight through. I tried to remember what Allie had done in the club room. That spell. Sweeping my arm through the air, I shouted, "Barrier!" Nothing happened, of course. Ugh, I don't know how to do magic. And William's amulet was still in the club room, because of course it was. The ghost moved closer, making a strange, scratchy sound, as if it was trying to form words, but its voice wasn't working. I bolted for the door and flung it open, bursting into the hall. I assumed the building was probably empty. At least I hoped it was empty. Plenty of teachers worked on Saturdays, but considering it was right before the holiday, I didn't look behind me as I ran and just hoped I could run faster than the ghost could float. I darted out of the side hall into the main corridor and crashed into someone who was coming my direction. Hands closed over my shoulders, and I found myself looking up into a familiar face. Nora? What are you doing out of the club room? Man, this is too dangerous. William hugged me closer, burying his face against my hair. Thank God. Allie and I have been looking for you. We have to get back to the club room right away. It was kind of under attack. I know. We got a hold of Shelley and Corvin. They helped Allie stabilize the barrier. You shouldn't be out here. He suddenly gave me a worried look. You're hurt. Yeah, a box fell on my head. No big deal. Let's just go. I grabbed his arm and started dragging him back to the stairs. Oh, it's that thing again! Okay, we didn't kill it. Didn't kill it. A massive figure sort of wafted out of a side hall, and I let out a panicked scream when I saw that stupid thing there again. Not the masked ghost this time. The drudge. Nora, get behind me. No, you're the one it's after. I grabbed him and pulled him back the way we came, stopping when the stupid masked ghost wavered into existence there. Well, trapped between a drudge and a masked ghost. Oh, for the love of... That's... Ghost killer. It let out a horrific scream and rushed at us. I shoved William out of the way as I dodged. It went right past us, and there was a flash of light as it attacked the drudge thing. What? Was that why it was here? I mean, William obviously recognizes it. I wasn't going to question the logic or motives of a ghost. Those things were fighting, and William and I really needed to get away while they were distracted with each other. Unfortunately, they were blocking our way to the club, and I didn't think it was wise to try to head anywhere else but there. Standing around waiting to see who won seemed, stupid. There's always the creepy elevator. William was standing completely still, watching the two of them swoop around and lash out at each other. I grabbed his arm and pulled him toward the fight, hoping we had enough room to squeeze by and make a break without getting caught up in that. William seemed stunned by what he was seeing. No, you guys called it. It was his mom. No way. We were gonna see his mom. His mom masked ghost? Oh my god. But what does that mean? I've got more questions now. Mother? I froze and looked back at him, and realized it wasn't the fight he was watching, it was just the masked ghost. I had no idea why he thought that was his mother, but we didn't have time for a dramatic reunion. William, move! I pulled harder, both of us staggering forward as he finally moved his feet. The two of us pressed as close to the lockers as possible as we tried to inch past them. That fight looked a bit like shadows versus tentacles, not something I wanted to stick around for. I'd have turned tail and headed the opposite direction, if not for the fact the shortest path to the club room was on the other side. I was just glad Mr. Mask, or Mrs. Mask, was keeping Drudge Thing distracted. Except for those weird tentacle things headed straight for us. William, hurry! He was not cooperating as I ditched the idea of stealth and decided to run. He just kept staring at that masked ghost with that same horrified look in his eyes. One tentacle whipped out and wrapped around his ankle, causing him to stumble forward. William, no! There was a rush of cold, and the masked ghost was between us and the drudge. I pulled on William, trying to free his leg as more tentacles shot toward us. A blast of energy or something came from the masked ghost. Several tentacles shriveled, but others evaded the attack and shot toward the ghost, striking it in the face. Mother! It let out a wail and vanished as I desperately tried to free William and drag him away. William, we have to leave now! He hesitated, but I pulled his arm. William, now! The tendrils were reaching out for him again. I didn't know what would happen when they reached him, but I couldn't let that happen. William, no! My body moved before my brain even had time to catch up to what was going on. I'm not sure if I intended to push him out of the way or use myself as a shield. The latter is definitely what happened. The shadowy tendrils hit me hard, and I slammed into William's chest. It felt like it pierced my abdomen, sending blinding pain through my entire body. I doubled over, unable to even scream. Nora! I wasn't sure what happened next. I heard howling wind, the crunching and crackling of the walls breaking, and everything went black. I could hear the voices long before I was able to actually open my eyes again. I couldn't make out what they were saying, though. Everything sounded like it was underwater. When I tried to sit up, pain shot through my body. I tried to speak, but all that came out was a little moan. William was instantly by my side. I could just see his face through the haze. Nora, don't try to move. What happened? Ugh, my voice was weird. My words were all slurred and fuzzy. Allie and I managed to get you back to the club room. You're safe. It hurts. I know. We're trying to get a message to Velos. You're hurt pretty badly.
Here, drink this. It should hold the miasma at bay for at least a little while.
When did she get here? Oh wait. William said she came with Corvin. Miasma? William helped me sit up as Shelley tipped a glass against my mouth. I swallowed and made a face. Gross.
Sorry about that.
You were hit with a pretty big dose of miasma. Negative energy from the drudge. Nora, you're...
I still can't get through to either of them.
The sound of someone coming in through the library. I tried to crane my neck to see who that was. My hearing was still really weird.
Oh my god, you're awake!
Ah, it was Allie. She quickly joined the others, crouching by the sofa.
I'm so sorry. This is all my fault.
She'd definitely been crying. Your face is so swollen. You're going to look awful tomorrow.
Nora.
So... I suck at fighting ghosts. I mean, for the record. Where's Spencer?
I had Corvin take him home.
Good. If he saw all that, he'd have freaked out. And you know what a pain it is when he freaks out.
Yeah.
So, what's with this miasma thing I got hit with?
Nora? You have a really bad miasma infection.
Infection?
It happens when people are exposed to really large amounts of miasma and it gets in their body. Miasma-infected wounds can get really bad.
Yeah, just ask Corvin about that. How bad? That expression wasn't good. Allie, how bad?
It can kill.
My entire body felt completely numb. Does me having, like, a pure fairy body help at all with bad miasma, or no?
There's something called soul necrosis. It's bad. But we're going to get Velos to come heal you, okay? He's a great healer.
But you can't reach him.
No.
I flopped back, wincing as pain gripped my abdomen.
Nora?
Just hurts. There's no one else around who does healing?
Well, no one that has the experience Velos has. Except maybe one person, but...
We're back.
Corvin! Thank goodness!
I tried to pull myself up again.
You shouldn't move.
Where's Merle?
Sorry, he had to step out earlier. I told him there's an emergency, so he'll definitely be here soon. I thought Kaya could take a look for now. Healing isn't really my specialty, but...
So you do house calls?
No, we're grateful for anything you can do. She got hit hard.
How did you manage that?
There were tentacles. I groaned slightly as she placed her hands on my stomach. Sorry, that's about all the explanation you're going to get.
Well, I can definitely feel the impurities in there. It's pretty...
Bad? Everyone keeps saying that.
I was going to say nauseating.
Oh, that's a new one. 2 points for creativity.
Corvin, what do you think? You have more experience with miasma infection. You want to take a look?
Not to complain here, but none of you are doing anything. You're just touching me.
We're not looking with our eyes. We're capable of sensing this stuff, you know.
You are the worst patient.
Sorry. Habit. Corvin set his hand on my stomach, and I tried to glare at him just to dissuade him from doing anything weird, but couldn't quite muster the energy. Instead, I tried to focus on anything other than how awkward it was to have him touching my stomach.
I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. There aren't any signs of infection in her physical body, but her soul definitely has a severe infection. That's what I thought, but I wondered if maybe I was just seeing it wrong. As a fae, her body would have a natural ability to purify the miasma completely, but instead it settled into her soul.
Just mine? Corvin looked a little startled. I mean, my situation's a little weird. So, there may be 2 of us lurking around in here. Corvin yanked off his glasses, and this time looked long and hard at me, staring into my eyes. Yeah, because he needs to see properly.
2 souls. There really are 2 of them, aren't there? They're partially entwined, that's for sure. I can't see much more without Finn, though. Damn it! I thought that was the case, but when I looked earlier, I didn't see the other one. She must be trying to hide her presence.
Can you maybe explain what's going on? I mean, I know I'm apparently dying and all, but we've been looking into this for days.
You're a changeling.
Oh. Well, I kind of thought I might be something like that.
That was the conclusion you came to?
Well, with the revelation about the Fairy Hill and my coming to some kind of agreement with them, it did seem like it was something along those lines. Even Spencer pointed out the similarities.
Fairy Hill?
The short version is that fairies kidnapped her brother and wouldn't let him go, so Nora agreed to take his place. Their memories of that event were sealed. We kinda came to the conclusion she might be stuck in a fae body, but didn't really have the details.
So you managed to work that much out on your own?
With William's help. Still confused as to why I'm in the wrong body?
Well, we might want to save the lengthy explanations for a better time. For now, there are bigger issues to deal with. The dying thing is a bit more pressing, wouldn't you say?
The door burst open and another familiar face showed up, apparently in the nick of time. I hoped, because I was starting to feel really, really woozy.
Merle! Thank God! You're late!
Sorry. It's been a while since I had to do a house call. They gave him a super abridged version of everything. Corvin's face was pretty grim as Merle crouched next to me to take a look, which apparently meant touching my stomach and staring at me really, really hard. Magic is dumb. This is pretty serious. You understand that, right? Yeah, I've been told. It's more complicated because of your specific situation. Oh, you mean the fact I'm apparently possessing a stupid kidnapping bit...
Nora!
Sorry. Kinda annoyed right now. Possessing? I wouldn't exactly say it's possession, really. It's more like your soul has been stitched into that body using some pretty complex magic. Makes me sound like some kind of weird Frankenstein monster. You're not a monster exactly. Look, the miasma infection has started to spread through both souls. I suspect that she can't purify it out of her own properly due to your presence and the way her soul has gotten partially merged with yours. But your soul is significantly worse off. And if all I do is try to purify it out, I'm worried I may end up cementing your soul to hers. Permanently. So what do we do if you can't purify it either? There are two options. Rather than try to purify anything, I can try to do a full restoration. Basically, undo the stitching that has you stuck in that body, and completely return your soul to the state it was in before the Fae mess with it. If I do that, you should automatically be returned to your real body.
A forced separation would also automatically sever the Changeling contract, and force them to return you.
The drawback is that restorations are complicated on their own, and now I've got two souls to contend with. I've never tried anything quite like this before. And the second option? You try to convince that Fae to sever the contract on her own. With you in that body, you're both in danger of dying. Once you're separated, purifying an infection like this won't be too difficult. But there's no guarantee that'll work. I don't even know how to talk to her. That's right. And Fae are tricky. There's a good chance that she'll try to find a way to wriggle out of this without returning you. Then shouldn't we let you do it? I have to warn you. The price of a restoration like this is going to be steep. Very.
Oh, come on! She's dying, and you're going to quibble about payment?
We don't ignore balance. We can't. Payment is part of the process.
Come on, Merle. Can't you just waive the price this time?
Not for something this big, Corvin. You know I can't. Is this where you ask for my chocolate stash? I wish it was that simple.
I'll do it. I'll pay it.
Everyone went silent when he spoke. No, William. You have paid more than super abundantly for everything. Not this time. His voice was quiet, resolute, and he was looking at Merle with a very determined expression. I struggled to sit up. No way, William. This is... I gasped as the pain returned and spots swam in front of my eyes.
Nora!
He crouched next to me, watching my face worriedly.
Let me do this. Please. Let me help you. I want to do this.
I didn't know if I should. It was my life. Letting him pay some kind of price for me? I didn't like that. Okay, I can't even let William do it. I have to either ask what the price is, tell them I'll pay it myself, or tell them I want to convince Rule first. There's no convincing Rule. That's not gonna happen. I'm dying, so price is kind of irrelevant at this point. I mean, it's not my life. So I guess I'm paying it myself. Sorry, William. I appreciate it, but you are not paying for any more stuff. No. This is my life. So whatever payment it needs, I'll do it.
Are you sure? We're not talking something small. This is the equivalent of saving 2 lives. The payment may be more than a single person can bear.
I mean, I can't bear this infection. So it's either die or have you do this, right?
This is probably the best option, yes. Or at least it's the one with the highest chance of success.
Then just get it over with. Alright, I'll see how this goes. Merle settled in next to the sofa, looking down at me with a concerned expression. I struggled to focus on him.
I'm going to try to return your soul to the state it was in before it was placed in this body. It should reverse anything the Fae have done to it. Kaya, once the contract is broken, where do you think they'll return her to? I assume they won't be politely bringing her here.
No. Most likely it'll be somewhere near where the agreement was made or where they first took her.
So, by our old house? Or near that hill?
We'll head there as soon as we're sure this was a success so we can intercept you.
You may be a little disoriented as well.
I'll try to remember that. Ugh. It was getting harder to stay awake. My head was going all woozy and weird.
Let's get started.
A black shadow swirled out from behind him and took the shape of a large raven. I wondered if it was his familiar, but I didn't really have the energy to ask. Merle sat one hand on my forehead and another on my stomach. As he started chanting, I closed my eyes, trying to stay awake to listen. There was warmth spreading out from both hands, and the sensation of being ripped apart. It wasn't the same as the drudge and the way it made me feel like I was falling into darkness. This was different. Like being ripped apart at the seams.
Just hang on, Nora. Please.
There was a bright flash and Merle was flung back. He hit the coffee table with a groan.
Ah!
Merle!
Stay back, Corey. She's pretty pissed.
There's our girl. The woman picking herself up off the sofa with a pain scowl was not Nora. They looked similar, though. The same curls, but in ghost white instead of red. She even had a similar face shape. But her features were sharper, her skin paler, and a pair of coal-black horns curved toward her face from the sides of her head.
You... What are you trying to do? Sending that poor kid back to her body after fixing what you did to her. What does it look like?
Rule hissed angrily and lifted a hand as if she was about to fling a spell. But she stopped suddenly, her eyes going far away. Oh. Hey! Hey! Remember me? The person trapped in your body? Stop ignoring me!
So you've worked out how to converse with me at last.
Well, I don't know. I've mostly been shouting into the void, hoping you'd hear me. But whatever, sure, let's go with that. In case you haven't noticed, we're dying. You and me. Together. Both of us. Okay, so I'm still gonna try and convince you anyway.
Though I reckon you'll die first.
I'll die first? How does that work? How do I die without you dying?
Do you truly want an explanation for that?
No. My point is, enough of this! Send me back. Undo whatever you've done to me.
You think our contract is void simply because we're dying?
Well, wasn't the whole point of this for you to take me back to Fairy with you? Hard to do that if I'm dead.
It's also difficult to do it if I let you go.
She tipped her head back, regarding me curiously. It was so weird. Gah! She looks too much like me. It's creepy.
Why don't you stop fighting so hard and come with me willingly? You did promise after all.
I don't want to. I made that promise when I was like 7.
Do you think your age invalidates our agreement?
The fact that I was desperately trying to get my brother back should. She just shrugged, casually uncaring, as if it didn't matter to her in the slightest that she'd taken advantage of 2 scared children.
He entered our domain on his own, ate our food willingly, and you willingly agreed to take his place. A life for a life.
Then how about we make another exchange? Also a life for a life. Mine for yours. Because if you don't let me go, they won't let you go. Then we'll both die. She just laughed.
You believe those fools can hold me here?
Hey, St. John's wort could keep you in my room.
I was in a human form living under a human roof. My powers were nearly halved. Don't think that will be the case here.
You think you can go against 2 witches, 2 wizards, and a really strong psychic?
I don't believe any of them would stand there and watch you die with me. And I won't stand by and watch you become food for that wolf in sheep's clothing.
Whatever that means. Merle can still help me, you know, even if you won't.
And are you ready for him to take everything from you? Your memories, your love, everything you hold dear? Those are the things they deal in, you know. Deal with that flock of greedy crows and you won't have anything left when they are done.
The same is true if I go with you. If I'll lose everything either way, I would rather stay. I'm not putting my family through me vanishing again. I'm not giving up just because you say so. You manipulated me when I was a child. Not this time. To my surprise, she smiled. It was a strangely gentle expression. She reached for me and I flinched, but there was nowhere to go. She leaned in and pressed a kiss to my forehead. I instantly drooped, overcome with heavy sleep.
You grew up well.
No. And that was the last thing I remembered. The others had been watching for several minutes as Rule stood stock still, staring at nothing. It was William who told them he thought she was speaking with Nora, though even he wasn't sure how Nora managed to do it on her own. And then Rule sort of shook herself and she was back with them. She looked at each of them one by one, then finally settled for speaking to Allie. The best friend, huh?
The child will be returned. You can find her where we first picked her up. Just like that.
Merle shrugged.
Don't look at me. I didn't finish the restoration.
You're helping her on your own. Why?
This child... I have no intentions of handing her over to that cocky raven.
She shot a look at William, who was also watching silently.
Or anyone else.
The wolf in sheep's clothing? Rule!
She's stubborn, But I believe if I give her up willingly now, she may yet come to us on her own. After all, our ways have always been in her blood.
Interesting. Man, is that like a tease for Ewan's route? Because I'm like, what does that mean? She said nothing else. Before anyone could do anything to her, she was passing through the door into the hall. And she was gone. I felt like I was flying. It was dark and there was cold air all around me. There were voices, singing, sad. I couldn't understand them at all. Then they faded and I found myself standing in the woods with gray daylight slowly fading. I felt strange. Sore, dizzy, so tired. How did I get here? Where was I just now? I didn't know. Hello? I shivered in the cold air, looking around as I tried in vain to remember where I was and how I'd gotten there. It was pouring rain, and that was the only sound I could hear around me. Hello?